Horror is a genre that needs no introduction. Fear is such a powerful emotion, and horror weaponizes that fear well. That fear of the unknown. The dread at knowing something is watching you, and even worse, hunting you. Horror games capture that dread perfectly. Most books and movies create their own strong horror experience. We tend to be mere observers to the horror unfolding. But in a horror game, we are put straight into the action. We are the ones being hunted, being chased down by horrendous forces we don't understand. The ones who must do everything in our power to survive. However, horror can be a difficult genre to enter, as not everyone wants to experience that fear firsthand. No! But I've found it. The perfect gateway into horror games. A game that takes the typically scary experience of being chased down by man-made horrors beyond our own comprehension and replaces it with the comedy and being chased down by Muppets who will hug you a lot. My Friendly Neighborhood is a horror game released by Evan and John Ducky Zeminski in 2023. If the last name sounds familiar, it's because their brother David made the popular indie shooter Dusk. I'm not here to talk about Dusk, but I felt it was worth mentioning. I'd say the best way to describe My Friendly Neighborhood briefly would be Resident Evil with a Muppets aesthetic. My Friendly Neighborhood is actually the first horror game that I ever played, and I think it works as your first horror game too. I want to tell you about that. It's 90s America! Everyone spends their days watching television, trying to ignore all of their problems as Y2K rapidly approaches and they all recover from the war. A couple decades back, one night, as the local news does its newsy thing, an old TV show starts broadcasting over the airlines. A show called My Friendly Neighborhood. Whoa, it's like the name of the game! To sum it up, imagine Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and the Muppets were a single children's show, teaching children all the good old-fashioned beliefs upon which we used to rely, such as kindness and compassion. Needless to say, the show got cancelled because after the war, people don't want their children becoming nice. Blech. So we gotta get rid of them darn TVs before they corrupt our youth into becoming compassionate and caring individuals. That's where you come in. You play as Gordon O'Brien, a maintenance worker who was hired to come in and shut this thing down. He's a grumpy old man, fought in Nam, and now is just working because he has to. But no matter how much he may hate his job,
the last job of the day is always the worst.
This one's gotta be done right, as his employment's on the line. As he makes his way into the studio, he comes into contact with a colorful cast of sentient puppets who act as the cast of My Friendly Neighborhood. But despite their initially friendly disposition, something seems off about them.
I'm a really normal guy. I just kinda show up to be a friendly face in the background. First, I beat him to the ground. Then I stomped his face. The roof outside. When I'm angry, I feast upon the tears of my enemies. When I'm smart, I eat everyone else's food. When I'm in a hurry,
So now it's up to you to navigate this not-so-friendly studio and shut down the broadcasting antenna so that normal people can watch their normal TV again without getting Elmo jump-scared. I do want to point out something with a plot while I'm here. Oh boy, it's a horror game in which something's meant to be friendly and appealing to children suddenly becomes an evil horror monster. Where have I heard that one before? Yes, on the surface, this game can appear similar to mascot horror titles based on the premise I just mentioned. Whilst that may be the case, it's not something that needs to be taken too seriously here. I personally think My Friendly Neighborhood is meant more as a light-hearted game that pays homage to horror game classic like Resident Evil, which is definitely emphasized in the gameplay. So My Friendly Neighborhood is a first-person survival horror game. This means that you can expect a lot of puzzles and exploration in a non-linear environment. You can find an item hiding somewhere on the film set and use it to open a door or solve one of the many puzzles this place has to test if you truly are smarter than a 5th grader. These items can be found anywhere, from in bookshelves to on top of crates to... How the hell did that get there? If you see something, take it. You'll know a room is completely clean of items to collect based on the color of the room on your map. If the room is green, you've gotten everything, and you're good to look elsewhere. If the room is colored red, however, as long as something isn't nailed down, it's yours for the taking. Well, kinda. Gordon's just a regular guy after all. He ain't fitting Skyrim in his pants, so he has to choose what he carries around with him. In order to decide, you get to play Tetris! Yeah, let's go! Okay, in all seriousness, an important aspect of the survival horror game loop is this fun little mechanic called resource management. You can open Gordon's toolbox at any time to evaluate what you have, use healing items, and organize everything so that you can try and make room for that one thing you wanted. Oh, what's that? You wanted to carry that key item you needed to progress? You just want to carry that shiny new thing around with you? That's too damn bad! Your toolbox is stuffed with guns, bottles, and candy bars. You know, the essentials. Either get rid of what you got, or come back later. I'm sorry, kid, but them's the rules. Time to take the walk of shame all the way back to a save room to drop off what you don't need. Or you could throw away non-essentials like ammo and healing items to get it now. Oh right, I should probably talk about saving in this game. In most video games, saving isn't something you think about. Either the game will automatically save for you, or you can manually save your game whenever you want with no consequence on long-term gameplay. Not in this house. Here we go old school. Manual save stations, baby! Oh, but not only do you need to go to a specific place to save. No. Listen to me here. This is real quick. This is real important. You gotta pay to save your game. Oh, and no, this isn't some microtransaction situation. Don't worry. It's just using in-game coins you can collect throughout the map. Plus, once you're in a save room, there is no threat of attack. And you have a larger toolbox to manage your inventory with, putting non-essential items in there so that you have room to pick up anything you may find in the next area. So how exactly do you go about not dying in this game? Well, this is a survival horror game, but you've got plenty of tools at your disposal to survive the host of friendly puppets who just want to give you a big ol' hug. First off, you've got the staple of any first-person adventure game. Drumroll, please. A metal object to beat people with. The trusty wrench, available now for $19.99. But sometimes even your trusty tool ain't gonna cut it. I mean, makes sense. If you're close enough to whack them over the head, they're close enough to...
You need a breath mint.
Yeah. So what's stronger than blunt force head trauma? That's right, words! No, this isn't a joke. This isn't a haha funny. In universe, all of your firearms shoot letters at your enemies.
Your alphabet, huh?
And there are multiple varieties of heavier ordnance for your puppet slaying shenanigans. We have a pistol for long-range single shots, the shotgun, my beloved, for when your enemies feel like getting up close and personal, and think fast, chuckle nuts! Also, yes, I want to add that yes, you can blow yourself up with your own grenade, and yes, it can damage and kill you, and yes, I think that is hilarious. Another useful tip before we move on, headshots do indeed deal more damage, but there's no reticle by default. It has to be toggled on in the camera menu, so good luck with that. Ooh, one more thing. You can also flip any of your weapons by pressing the right mouse button. It has zero gameplay benefit, I just think it's cool.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of here.
However, knocking down your enemies isn't going to be enough, as they always get back up after you leave the room. The only way to ensure they stay down is through restraining them with duct tape. This adapts to the Crimson Head mechanic that appeared in Resident Evil 1, and then never again. I mean, I can understand why they cut it in future installments, because why won't you stay down? The taping mechanic provides an extra level of strategy to navigation, as I have to decide whether you would wish to permanently remove a threat from your playthrough by using limited resource, with the benefit of saving ammo or healing items against those same threats in the future.
All I need is a friend.
Whilst it gives you an extra level of consideration on how you dispatch your enemies, there are some enemies that are, well, a little big for duct tape to do the job. As you explore the map, each region will have its own elite threat who will not stay down after you shoot them and cannot be taped. But worry not, kind viewer.
What was that?
They are very situational hazards, and there is a way to stop them. Each of them has their own unique side quest that you can accomplish in their region to make them no longer a threat, making navigation that much easier. With all those mechanics in mind, you've got everything you need to beat the game and see the end credits. Once you beat your playthrough, you are given a rank, which is determined by how quickly you beat the game and how often you saved and died. Higher ranks can be difficult to achieve on higher difficulties, where you get less and less resources and the enemies tend to be tankier. Or you could do what I did, toggle on the infinite ammo cheat and snap the item balancing in half on unfriendly, where you're given no spare ammo. So whilst you can beat the game once and call it a day, there is much more to this game than what initially meets the eye. Like many other survival horror games, My Friendly Neighborhood thrives off replayability, using new modifiers to spice up multiple playthroughs. Most of these modifiers can be found in the Unlocks feature of the main menu. Whenever you beat the game on a specific difficulty, you can unlock a new game mode for future playthroughs. These game modes can include simple things like an in-game speedrun timer or a free camera no-clip mode. Or you can turn the game into dusk, completely breaking the game in half as you can bunny hop and wall run all over the place. It's wild. Then there are the cheats, a collection of VHS tapes that can be found in a playthrough. These things can be hard to find, hidden away in shadows and crevices of the world, or am I interrupting something? I don't know what's going on here. I think I'll just grab this and leave. After you find these tapes once, on any playthrough, they're permanently unlocked and don't need to be found again. The augments you can get from these secret tapes can range from infinite ammo, to changing your character's size and speed, to big head mode, and more. Lastly, there is the Neighbor Horde, an infinite horde mode where you get to pick one of 4 weapon loadouts and choose one of 4 stages from the main game, where the mission you are given is simple. Survive. You must hold out against the endless horde for as long as possible, managing ammo from enemy drops and purchasing more ammo, healing items, and speed up candy bars with coins also dropped from enemies. Keep playing until either the timer runs out or you run out of health, and aim for the highest score imaginable. Who knows? Might be something worthwhile if you manage to S-rank everything. My Friendly Neighborhood is a title that takes gameplay from the best the horror genre has to offer and transforms it into an approachable experience that anyone can enjoy, even if horror isn't your strong suit. Ducky and his team have made an amazing game here, and I hope that more people will have the chance to experience it. I highly recommend it. The game is available on PC for $30, and I'd say it's well worth the price. If you aren't sold yet though, there is a free demo on Steam that allows you to fully explore the game's second area, get a feel for the gameplay almost halfway through a normal playthrough, and see if it's for you or not. And lastly, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. Feel free to subscribe, as I hope to make more videos like this discussing other video games that I love, primarily other indie games. Things will be a bit rocky at first as I figure out what works for me, but I'm excited for what's ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.
I think I ended early. Can we go back to the beginning?